got it.
No, would you just help your mother, please? I'm Jennica.
I'm Annica.
Welcome to
Spillmore Girls.
Oh. Hello.
I'm so tired.
Y'all, we have been through it. I genuinely, my body feels, the only way I know how to explain it is, I haven't been this exhausted since college. Since you do those, your job, your friends, your party, your social, your all night, your concert, then you're back in class, then you're back at work.
I couldn't tell you what day it is. I couldn't tell you what we've been through. I couldn't tell you one thing that happened this week. It has been such a blur.
It's been wild.
Let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Sorry, guys.
Ooh, it has been something and it's we live in a world where saying something like that does feel like I feel shitty even saying that because so many people are going through so many more terrible things. But it's okay to still just be exhausted from a shitty week.
Yeah.
So we live in Middle Tennessee, obviously, and Middle Tennessee does get tornadoes and floods. I remember my senior year of high school, actually, there was 2 weeks where our entire state was shut down because of a flood, and they had to come to all the cities. Hi, Tuna, welcome. We heard your feedback and said you better let Tuna stay in this podcast, so she will be staying. But we shut down, and cities had to build infrastructures that would help house flooding or be more prepared for floods. And now you can definitely tell the houses that have been built before and after that because of the flooding. And so we got hit with about days of multiple tornadoes. Severe weather.
One of the live streams, one of the nights.
We love. No, we give them a proper shout out because they literally provide our only sense of
comfort.
Yes.
Everyone that I know watched them, not the
They're
news.
Nashville Severe Weather, and they've got a YouTube channel they always go live on.
And Twitter.
Yes.
And I'm gonna tell a funny lore story that I haven't even brought up to you yet.
Oh no.
But so it's these 4 guys that run it, right? Mm-hmm. So then one of the nights that we got on it, there was 5 guys, and
I think there might be 5.
No, there's 4. No,
yeah,
there's 4. One of the nights we got on, there's 5, and I was like, okay, I wonder what's he jumping on here for? It's all guys. And then halfway through the stream at 2 a.m., they're like, well, if you're enjoying our socials, this is our intern. He graduated from Centennial High School and now goes to Mississippi State. Okay, so obviously I go look him up on Instagram just because I was like, I thought he looked familiar, but whatever. I sold his sister a prom dress this season, so that's that. And then also, last night, I was scrolling on TikTok, and you know that sound from the Lego movie that was and President Business stole the crackle and la 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 la, and it was that sound
zoomed in on him?
to him, and I was like, oh my god. That's really funny.
There were 65,000 people watching that stream at 4 a.m.
Yeah. I have no words.
And 4 a.m. is something I have not seen. I even with this, we'll get to the Bachelorette talk, and I didn't even see 2 a.m., I don't think, on the Bachelorette.
So, here's the rundown of the last few days, okay? Mm-hmm. So, Mom got back. Okay.
Oh, let's just be the warnings or the watches or something. Something was happening in air because we had to circle a couple times.
So my god,
at the front of the story.
Oh my god. Okay, so wait, I need to get I need to, for my mental sake, get this in order. You got back here. I'm working, right? And then my job after work is to go pick up Mom.
We didn't land until after her, she was supposed to be off anyway. Yeah. So, it was going to work out where she got to just clock out and come straight there. And then that's about the time we were landing.
And it was a great time. I would be able to, listen to my music. Then I get to see everyone and, drop. It was great. It was great. So, I get off work. I have a little bit of time to kill. So, I pop in Trader Joe's. And then it's just okay, I'm going to start heading to the airport. I might have to sit in the parking garage for a little bit, but it's fine. So, I'm at the red light to get off of the exit onto the interstate. I'm still in, the glamour area. I get a call while I'm sitting at the red light, and it's hey, what are you doing? I'm I'm going to pick my mom up from the airport. What you doing? Let's chit-chat. they're like, hey, you need to turn around and like probably go seek shelter immediately. And I'm like, no, I don't have time for that. Like, I don't want to be late. Like, I have a plan in my head, la la la.
Keep in mind, she's close enough to almost be at the airport, so that means I'm close enough to almost be landing.
Yeah. So they're like, no, like, actually, you need to turn around and you need to go to the nearest parking garage. And I was like, I mean, okay, whatever. I have a little bit of time to kill. It's fine. So I turn around and I'm going in front of Glamour. I'm going in front of Glamour. Still, weather's totally fine. I know that there's a parking garage that if I can just get past this red light too, I'll be good. I'm passing Glamour. From Glamour to this parking garage across the street.
You can see it.
You can see it. There's one red light in between. By the time I get from Glamour to the red light, so much hail and rain and wind that I can't see 2 feet in front of me. I'm like, this is gonna dent my car. I'm like,
there's nothing scarier than driving.
Breathing in and out so heavily because I feel like I'm about to projectile vomit.
And something like
that. It's so bad. I had never seen weather get so bad in a drop of a dime. And
when you really cannot see beyond your, like, it feels like such
hard
a
hail.
bubble.
And I was like, oh my goodness, I can't drive. So I get to this parking garage. 7 minutes later, it's totally fine. I make my way to the airport. Okay. This parking garage was also packed. Everyone was just kind of circling because we were all just trying to find a parking spot to get out of this.
Yeah, our plane also, like, I had the most beautiful, gorgeous, because it's not often that I come from, like, the West Coast back home, and so I had this beautiful, gorgeous view of downtown Nashville, and I was like, oh my gosh, and then, like, we're circling, and I'm like, wait, is this, where? Because after you pass downtown Nashville, you're at the airport. You're there. And so we had to still circle around, like, probably get out of the storms, you know. I mean, obviously, always do that. But I didn't even know that anything was going on in the sky.
Meanwhile, I'm, like, throwing up. It's so bad. So I go pick them up. When does the first one hit?
I think literally, like...
Monday night,
yeah, maybe.
Okay, yes. I'm like, okay, I parked my car on the street. Maybe I should pull that in because I have kind of a weird feeling that it's just going to get really bad.
You know, I feel like if you live in, like, an Oklahoma area, or even if you live in a place of natural disasters, like, whatever your natural disaster is, you just know the feeling. You know when you step outside, oh, something ain't up, it's a little bit quieter, the trees look a little bit different, the sky looks, just a little bit of a different color out here.
Yep.
Like, it's...
So, I pull my car in, I go to sleep. It's about 12-ish, you'd say. I wake up from a phone call from Madison. And I'm like, hey. And she's like, there's a tornado. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm like scribbling. I'm freaking out. And she's like, wait, no, like not like that. Not actually. And I was like, what do you mean? Not actually.
She had just literally, like, tried to call me so many times. I think that she was just trying, like, she's just trying to, when you start seeing people's streets and stuff. So Maddie had called us. Annica comes running into my room. There's a tornado! And so I click my phone. Of course, there's so many missed calls and stuff from Maddie. We take shelter for a minute. We, like, by the time we get our bearings, though, it does pass.
Yeah.
And it did miss us. And so we're like, okay, whoa, that was crazy. We come back. We go to bed. Okay. That next day, it was weird-ish weather. But nothing that we had to stay up through the night for.
Yeah.
However.
So now, that was that night. We went through the day. We're tired from whatever. We go to sleep. 6 a.m., fire alarms start going off. And I'm not telling you any kind of wimp of a fire alarm, okay? And if you're watching right now, and you can see right here in my room, directly opposite side is where the fire alarm is.
It almost feels like that might be the other side of the fire alarm.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally. Yeah,
so there's not even wall, like, through that.
No.
Like, and honestly, I posted a TikTok of it. You can hear the sound that it makes. And just know that I turned that video down, and I'm on the other side of the house. Like, it's such a piercing, which we're thankful for. Of course. But to be woke. And then, obviously, our animals, like, when we get them to safety, we have to, like, trick them and everything's okay.
Yeah.
Anytime we do, especially Myrtle, like, I'll never see her. They're skedaddling. I mean, we can't even find Weasley. We're trying to shove all of them because we're looking and people are actively exiting the building.
So I walk in Mom's room and I'm like, we got to make a choice here. Because
this is an hour. They do testings a lot.
So often.
But this is not an hour that it would be a test. You know what I mean? Like, it's 6 a.m.
Yeah. So I look at the gym and there's people on the Peloton bike and they're just going along. And I'm like, okay. So then Mom's like, go smell out in the hallway. I open the door. why is the hallway alarm 17 also times worse than the inside alarm? But when I step out, I can't say that it smells normal. I can't. So I don't necessarily say that. I just say, why don't we go ahead and take a walk outside?
Yeah, I looked out, and once I saw one cat carrier coming out, I said, all right, let's go ahead and get this, especially because we're not on the bottom floor, and we would be, when we put them, when it's something like that, we do try to get them in the stroller, so we don't want to be trying to do a lot of like, we just, we got to start getting going.
We got everyone together, and we started going downstairs. We have the cats in the stroller, Tuna's with us, we're just kind of walking around, okay? So, fire alarm goes off, there's people, there's fire trucks, there's this, there's that. There was rumors that it was something about, like, the garage. I'm like, okay, my car's gonna blow up, perfect. Like, that's the best place for there to be a fire, is somewhere with a lot of gasoline, you know what I mean? So then, maybe like an hour, 30 minutes to an hour later.
Yeah, it was quite a while.
The alarm's off. And I'm like, okay, perfect, we'll go back inside. We have key fobs to get in the building. Every door. You cannot get in this building without a key fob.
All of them are locked?
All of them are locked. They turned them all off.
Which is, again, safety, because you don't want people running back into a building if it's not on fire. Like, we get these things, but they were all just...
I feel like they should be connected, where if the fire alarms are going off, then they can be locked. If the fire alarms are not going off...
Once the fire marshal gets there, and he's probably the one that has to be like, all clear.
Why are you making reasons for these people? We're telling our personal experience.
Because I can always see the person's point of view.
So we try to go in and it's locked. We circle this building.
We try like a couple, and I'm like, okay, we surely there's one. And
keep in mind, Tuna ain't the best with other dogs. We kind of have to like maneuver and like go back and like just try to not run into other dogs directly.
She likes dogs that look like the dogs in her life that she knows.
Yeah.
So like if she has a friend in life that's like also that breed, but like
she does not like little dogs.
She does not like little dogs at all.
So we're circling, just waiting. We finally just plop down, take a seat, and we're kind of just enjoying the view. And we see someone try to go in a door, and we're like, haha, basically like a loser, like it's not gonna work. And he opens it right up and goes,
flies open.
And we go.
At this point, we were separated because I'm like walking around with Luna, and she's like keeping the cats calm, and we're like looking at each other like, and she dashes.
I dash to that door. This is a door we've never been in before, and also, like, we can't use the elevator, because that's number one.
Yeah, we also know going back in, we're not going to be using the elevator.
Yeah, and, like, worst fear, getting stuck in an elevator with all of our animals.
Imagine. Luna's already getting mad thinking about it. Tunes.
So, we then proceed to carry this cat carrier full of 2 cats up multiple little flights of stairs. Multiple.
Tuna's strapped around my waist.
She's not helping at all. She's not helping at all. She doesn't want to walk straight. So then I get in my car. I go to my hot Pilates. That's the day, okay? Night comes around. Tornado City.
Well, this is when I start going to sleep, and I see that those guys go live, and I say, this is not good. So I said, let me just keep tabs, because one of their guys is in Franklin, too. So, like, I love when he starts talking, because I'm like, I'm doing what you're doing, my guy. And when he goes in shelters, I know to go to shelter. And it was 12 o'clock. Like, I had been kind of keeping up until midnight, and I was like, oh, I'm up this much. Like, and when you're seeing 2 a.m. at 12 at midnight, it doesn't look like that far away. Like, it felt far away. But I was like, I can get Annica right now comfortably, like, a pallet made and in the bathroom, because if you don't know, if you've never lived somewhere where tornadoes come, we've been doing these drills since we were literally our whole life. I mean, pre-K, any room, like, you need to know where to go in a tornado, but you need to get as far as you can away from windows. You want to try to be in a windowless room, even if that just is a closet. You want to try to be in a windowless room. You want to try to be as far, like, close to the center of the building as possible, and then as close to the ground. So, and then once you get there, and if you start actively hearing a tornado, which sounds like a train, you get in a position, like, kind of cover your neck.
Yeah.
Moms, get over your babies, you know. So there's precautions. So I'm thinking, let me go ahead and get this pallet made. So at midnight, I'm in here. I'm getting every blanket in the house. I'm trying to make I'm cleaning like my bathroom floor a little bit because we're all about to sleep in there.
No, I think we're skipping a night.
No, I don't. No, because then it kept getting worse.
But wasn't there the night that we didn't have the pallet, and then there's the night that we did have the pallet?
Oh, the night that we didn't have the pallet was Maddie when we just called and got in there for a second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's been lots of nights with pallets
They're
without
all
pallets.
going together at this point.
So we're in there, or I'm in there, and I'm getting the pallets, and I try to, like, you know, make them as comfortable. I'm getting the fluffy blankets. I'm thinking about, because Myrtle and Luna are sleeping in my bed at this point, and they're still, I'm moving quietly enough around the house at a weird enough hour that they're still, Myrtle's looking at me like she's real cautious. And I'm like, okay, I either have to, I can't go get Annica up and have us start talking without Myrtle, like, getting
suspicious.
Yeah. So I get Myrtle, lock her in the bathroom, and say,
Her number one nightmare.
Her number one nightmare is being anywhere behind a closed door. And so I come in here, and I'm about to wake up Annica. I'm like standing here thinking, like, should I, just the mom, like, making sure it's just last minute before I have to wake her to because she does get, like we talked about a couple podcast episodes ago, she does get storm scared.
Let's just maybe call it, like, maybe storm anxiety.
I think storm scare sounds cute and fun.
Do you? Do you? I get storm anxiety, okay? I'm shaking. I'm like...
I will say, you get that 100% honestly from your dad. I mean, one of our first dates when we were in, like, 5th grade, which I know that was at a skating rink, and he had to call his mom to come pick him up because it started storming, and I thought,
Next subject, please. Or no, we haven't talked about you waking me up yet.
Yeah, so I come in here to wake her up, and I go to...
She's terrible at waking me up.
I'm trying
oh
so
my
hard.
God, she's terrible every single time. She gets too close to my face. It's awful every time.
Because I'm not wanting to. Anytime, any mother knows you just don't want to wake your sleeping child. So I'm like, I'm going, and I think I literally was, like, pulling back, and I was like this or something, and Annica's eyes fly open.
That's what I'm saying. She never commits fully, so I just open my eyes, and there's someone there, and I didn't even know.
And I'm equally as shocked. Because now she's up.
And every time, I'm not kidding you, this is how it goes. She comes to wake me up. She doesn't want to, so she just stands there and stares at me. So my unconscious self kind of feels something that is wrong. So I'm kind of tossing and turning it and open my eyes, and she's there.
Which
every
again, her worst fear
time
is a silhouette of someone just...
Yes! Oh my God. I think we need to have a playbook from now on. That
Should I just call you?
No, that you have to go to whichever side of the bed I'm not facing.
Oh, okay.
So that
then you have to wake up.
No, so then before I open my eyes to there, and you have to tap me. Or just commit to it. Don't come in here or wake me up.
Maybe I'll knock. And as maybe I'll just, start
Terrible idea.
making more noise.
Whatever happened to, hey, Annica, wake up?
Yeah, I mean, I guess
Every time, I just want to go, bop. Every time. That's my natural instinct. Yours is to fly, mine is to fight. Like, every time I gotta wake you up. You know I'm coming before my foot's even in that room. Mom!
I can hear your footsteps as soon as you get off this bed. This girl, your feet.
And now we're here.
And now we're here.
Anyway, so then we're up till
that night was
6 a.m.
We had I remember it being 4 a.m. and me feeling drunk. Like, yeah. I genuinely, and it was actively a tornado warning. Like, I was like, you have to use so much brain power, like, while you're so exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there were a couple times that we did go to lower floors, but it just kept really, those guys are the only reason that we were able to stay as, calm as we were.
Yeah.
Because they just talk it play by play so well, and I truly, I needed I need to donate to their Patreon this month
Yeah.
because, like, I need to make sure all those men have a drink on us.
Yeah.
Like, we appreciate what you guys do so much. Anyway. So then.
But then keep in mind also, these tornadoes bring hail and rain, okay? What does rain bring? Flooding.
Floods.
So, here's what happens. You have a tornado coming. You have to get to the lowest level possible. Okay? At this day, we've had 3 days of storming.
Mm-hmm.
What do tornadoes, like I said, bring? You got to get low as possible. Floods. You got to get as high as possible.
So now we start having flood warnings. And tornado warnings at the same time.
Do we go up or do we go down? Do we go up or do we go down? I really don't know.
And every time I looked at the radar and would look, like, towards... Because usually ours come from, like, Texas. There was just still more coming.
Every time?
But it is, like, truly in this time, like, it's about 2 weeks in March or April that the weather is still, like, goes from very cool spring to then you have weird 80-degree days where you're like, ooh, this is not right, this is not right.
It's not right.
And
heat fuels tornadoes.
Yeah. So that was our, like, false summer. It'll go back to being a real spring. And then hopefully we're in the clear. But truly, I mean, these affect so much more than just Tennessee. As we say, they start in Texas. We watch them go through Arkansas. We watch them go up through Kentucky. So, like, we know we weren't the only ones that are feeling like this and that have been through this week. So, truly, it has just been exhausting. Annica had yesterday, they had to close one day with customers still in the store, and she's, like, managing the store while, like, people are crying. Like, it was...
I was the head boss there at the moment, and then one of the girls that was working is a little bit more storm scared than I am, and so, then we were kind of, like, in the middle of it to where we couldn't leave because it was more unsafe to leave than it was to stay, and keep in mind, we weren't expecting these, or else we would have taken the precautions, so it kind of just popped up. So, she was a little nervous. We had one set of customers in. The customers were like, no, it's fine, and I was like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever the customer says.
And also in, like, plazas like that.
Well, we could have gone to the back. If anything would have happened, there is a back of the store that is, like, our, like, storage, and it's completely cinder block and concrete.
All the way around.
So that's where we would have gone if anything were to happen. But the lady in there was just watching the same guys that we watch, and I was like, I got you, girlie. And she was like, no, we're fine. And I was like, okay, yeah. And as long as there's customers in the store, we gotta stay there. But, like, as soon as the customers left and it was not raining outside and we had, like, the perfect window of time before the next group.
There was going to be one full hour before another. Yeah. And so that was, like, enough.
So we all just, like, fleed.
That's been our week. So it has been, I mean, but this is my thing now. Because I'm storm serious. If she's storm scared, I'm storm serious. I take them seriously always. Like, I know what to do. I have a plan in action. But, like, I don't think that they're not going to be anything, even when they're not. Like, I try to, like, be the mom in the situation. You know, I always have been. I put this on my Instagram story, but our first bedroom was in a basement. And so we went from, like, not even having to wake up during storms my whole life to then we were in an apartment. The storm in 2011 that came through Alabama, it was truly still to this day one of the scariest moments of my life. And figuring out, okay, the only room that we have that doesn't have windows is this small bathroom. I took my comforter.
It was like 4 by 4 feet.
I mean, yeah, and all you could fit in there was the tub, the sink, the toilet. And I took my comforter and, like, laid it, blankets down first, laid my comforter down, like, tacoed us both in and covered. And then once it was, like, if you were with us in that this week, we're exhausted with you, and we do hope you're safe. And truly, if you have been affected, biggest hugs, and reach out if there's anything that I can do for you. So, anyway, you want to talk about Arizona?
Let's talk about Arizona.
Should I move there?
So here's my thing with Arizona. I have family members that live out there, and I used to go there, like, every summer for, like, 3 years.
Yeah, like, I used to walk her through the airport.
That was my first flight ever by myself.
This is when Arizona. I was, like, had only flown, I think, once or twice in my life, and I was putting you on the plane by yourself.
Yeah, like, it was and I love Arizona. Like, I've always said that. I've always said I love Arizona. When I went with Samantha Jo for the Eras tour, like,
You did have the best time.
It's such a great state. Like, I love everything about it. Except for the heat during the summer and the monsoons. But, you know, Monsoon or tornado. Like, you have to pick one.
Yeah.
There's going to be something everywhere. So, I was really excited for her to go because she'd never been to Arizona, and I'd always talked about it. And I feel like it lived up to
Yeah.
it.
I've only been to Vegas and, like, Palm Springs, being in those, like, dry climates in that area, so I'd been to Arizona for connecting flights, but, like, never even been outside. So I did not realize, first and foremost, until I was looking at Uber options, that Phoenix is 20 minutes away from Scottsdale.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that just keeps blowing my mind, because would that be like Memphis and Nashville being right beside each other?
Basically.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And in between that, there was Tempe? Tempe? Tempe.
I don't think it's Tempe.
I think it. I know, that doesn't sound right.
It's not Tempe.
Anyway, there's a whole nother town in between.
Yeah.
Like, that is crazy town. Mm-hmm. Love the dry climate. Love the dry climate. Love the neighborhoods. Love the palm trees. Love the in and out. Love the cactuses. Love the cactuses. Love the desert. Love the ATV riding. Now, I don't think that I would have had as much fun if I was driving. Like, I will say that, because I'm just not a driver. Like, I am a passenger princess.
You are a passenger princess.
But it genuinely was. And looking back at some footage, there was some places where Maddie was, like, way more scared than I was. And I just kept being like, what? And she's not in real life. Like, she's not scared if she doesn't have to be. And looking back at the footage, you can see that from her angle, it looked like we were going off, like, drop-offs. But from my angle, it was just, like, rocks. It was just rocks down. So it just, that kind of terrain and stuff, like, I had never just been out in that kind. And it was awesome. I really, truly, like, it's so humid, so humid in Tennessee, and, like, the humidity here, you can walk out and feel it, and I just love a dry climate, and I am just one of those people that every time I go somewhere, I'm like, I could live here. Yeah, I think it's just because I don't want to live here.
Yeah, that could also be a part of it.
But I definitely could live in Arizona.
I love Arizona.
It was wonderful. I did not feel any of those bachelorette blues, like, that we were too old. Like, everybody loved us. Loved us. There was lots going on in Scottsdale that weekend. There was, like, a not March Madness, the playoffs, big basketball stuff was happening.
It is March Madness.
Is that but it was like a certain something going on.
Like the Elite
Spring
Eight.
training also was that weekend. Like, there was lots of sports things going on in Scottsdale. And we truly had the best time. Everywhere we went, I said, this is exactly what it used to feel like going out with Megan and Kathleen. They got treated like, we used to call them Mary Kate and Ashley in college, because everybody just wanted to be around them and wanted to be there. And, like, it was just, and they almost looked like twins, and it felt like that all over again. Like, me and Maddie were like,
yeah,
this is fun. I'm trying to find the lip gloss. My lip gloss is...
It's my lip gloss. And did you lose it?
I don't even remember you handing it to me.
I did.
And it couldn't.
Oh, it's right here.
And that's what it's like to be a mom.
Can you scratch my back?
And that's what it's like to be
Left, up, down a little bit. Exactly.
Okay, speaking of, this next story, when I was out with these girls and thinking about how... hello!
Aww.
If you're not watching, Weasley just popped up here and popped right back down. Right back down. Okay.
I have something I want to mention before your next story.
Go ahead.
I think that we need to elaborate a little bit more on an Instagram story you posted about me.
I pride myself in always being a mom that never posted anything that you did not want posted on the internet. And, like, now that you're an adult, I feel like I thought I'd gotten the hang of that. Like, I thought, yeah, I know when
No, it's not about that. It's not about that. It's about not giving context.
I posted a picture of Annica.
Nope, that's not what I'm talking about.
What?
Do we have beef?
I thought she was mad at me for... Oh, that Instagram story.
Yeah.
You didn't want me to share that?
No, that's fine. But you didn't share the full story.
What was the full story?
What you were upset about.
This week I shared on my Instagram story. Like, what was the other thing I thought you were going to be upset about?
Me laying down like I was a child in the womb when I was on our pallet.
I posted a picture of her cuddled up with her little
Asleep.
asleep for the
Criminal! criminal. I'm gonna come take a picture of you while you're asleep tonight with your mouth. Oh, and then also the first night that we were getting tornado warning, we're 30 minutes into it, and this girl still has on her mouth tape. This girl still has on her mouth tape, and I said, I think that you can take it off at this point. All the benefits are gone for the night. You're stressed. You're grinding your teeth. You can take it off.
So proud.
She's talking to me, and I'm like, bro, I can't understand the words you're saying. Take it off.
When I finally go to take it off, she's like, I'm out.
Like, honestly. And then the first night when Maddie called us and woke us up, and she had zero clue what was going on. The whole night, this was her. Just taking pictures and videos, and have those pictures and videos seen the light of day.
And then post them anywhere. It's just for the memes.
She was like, "Move! I'm not moving over. I'm not.
At the end of the day, I do just do mom things sometimes. Okay. Anyway, then I posted an Instagram story about how I came in here, busted up in here one of the mornings.
And just keep in mind, I'm not very good at taking people seriously. I'm really not. I laugh in bad situations. I'm just not good at taking people seriously.
And
especially when she uses the word seriously. That's when I really chuckle.
Well, you have night chores, okay? And we had chosen the night chores, okay?
No,
Annica's job,
I was told what to do.
Annica's job was we had less than 4 more dishes to be put in the dishwasher and started. The pod was already in there. It was good to go. Put the dishes there in the thing, started.
Most of the dishes were already loaded. I had to put it in tonight's dishes.
Yes, just literally, and I think I even put it in my own bowl. Like, it was literally just like your stuff in like a saucepan. I come around the kitchen. I'm whistling, coming around the kitchen in the morning, or coming around the corner, and I see the dishes still there.
No, some of the dishes still there. Not all of them, some.
And so I came in here, and I said, Annica?
No.
Why were the dishes?
I knew you were coming from a mile away. You said, Jane Maria, I know you. I don't even know what you said. You were like, I know you did not start these dishes. And I said, look at them. Like, I did start them. Look at them.
Look at them. I said, what about these? What about these two things right here? Now we got a whole thing of clean dishes and these 2 things right here.
They didn't fit. And then she said, there's a thing about loading the dishes properly.
This is the
Guess
thing.
who loaded the entire dishwasher except for those?
Yeah, so all of the things left could have fit.
No.
The things that she put in there, the way that she loads a dishwasher, y'all, honestly.
At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter. It's just for you. But when there's a lot of when
there's a lot of people in this household,
when there's a lot of dishes,
there wasn't a lot of dishes. There was 2.
They could have fit. The moral of the story is
there's no need to get upset about it because they're gonna get washed anyway. And did you need those right then?
So this is why I'm still upset about this situation, and now we do have beef about this because you're still not saying. We were in here, and she still was. She looks at me.
Why you could be upset. I understand why you could be upset.
Well, that was not said then.
No, listen. I understand why you could be upset, but the level of upset you are was absurd.
I only got more upset because you were brushing me the off and not caring.
Spoiler
See,
alert,
and this is when I have to zoom out and I have to say,
right
this is when I have to zoom out and say, she is 18 at the end of the day, and at the end of the day, you are her mother. And so sometimes she just doesn't care what you think, and sometimes she is wrong. And so that's what I have to tell myself in these situations, because you are wrong. Like, the dishes could have fit, and we would have woken up. I went in there.
Nothing changed about our day.
We're still changed days later.
Nothing changed about our day.
Yes, it did. I wasn't able to go in and start the day with doing clean dishes, getting those the heck out of there. Like, I still had dishes to do.
I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. So anyway, she's going on and on and on and on and on in my room, and then she goes out in the kitchen and she's still going on and on and on and on. She's doing the dishes and she's going on and on and on and on. And so finally...
No, there's no so finally. I'm still standing in here, and she looks at me, and she gives me those...
No, you weren't standing in here when you were in here. When I said it. You were out
Annica,
there.
I saw your eyes. She looks at me with those 18-year, speaking of, those teenage eyes, and says, so seriously, what's your beef? And I said, I couldn't even say anything. I said, what? And she said, what's your beef? I think I just walked away.
Yeah, I said, exactly. You don't even know what your beef is.
I hope this is birth control for somebody.
You don't even know what your beef is. You can't even put it into words.
I just explained my beef. Roll it back.
Roll it back.
Do you genuinely...
I understand why you could be upset, but there was just so much upsetness for no reason. And now we're here.
Okay, so anyway. Next story. When I was out with my girlies.
What's that word?
What? You don't need to know. When I was out with my girlies, I was like, man, I used to really genuinely do this all the time. So, we used to frequent this bar called Tin Roof, okay? And that was my baby for a while. Loved Tin Roof de Montbriand. Not Broadway, obviously. Locals know. Tin Roof de Montbriand. And, like, for a few years, we really, truly, like, knew all the bartenders, it was so fun to go there because it was our friends there. Like, it just is such a good place. It was that bar for me, okay? But I had one night, when I was out, and this guy came up to me.
When you were in Scottsdale or when you were...
When I was in Tin Roof in Nashville, probably...
10 years ago.
I mean, yeah, definitely at least 10 years ago. He came up to me so aggressively, like, shoulders back, aggressively. Are you Jennica? And I was like,
oh,
yeah. And he's like, fuck you. Immediately starts screaming at me. Like, immediately starts screaming in my face. I had enough friends around that they were like, whoa, what and pushed him away and started getting it back. And apparently, come to find out, this guy had been in a, 2-year-long relationship with a catfish profile of me. And he had, bought a plane ticket to come see me or something and, couldn't get... I genuinely was so... That was even scarier than he... Because then, of course, he, felt embarrassed and, obviously got kicked out of the bar. But it genuinely was one of those moments where I was like, that was crazy. And I've never told that I had, a... Is it considered a stalker if they're... I mean, yeah, right?
Yeah.
I had a stalker starting in high school. And they would, every single year, create accounts of me, all of my family members, all my friends, to make it look like as real as possible. And I would have girls reach out to me from states away, being like, hey, you're cheating on, my boyfriend's cheating on me with you. And I'm like, I don't even know your boyfriend. What are you talking about? And so I remember things happening here and there. My accounts would get hacked. My stuff would just be stolen all the time. I felt like they were, also in my account sometimes, too. And so, I genuinely ended up having to go to the police about it because I found out who it was. I'm good at that kind of stuff, too, and I can sleuth my way, too. And it was just literally, y'all, it was this random girl from a random high school ex-boyfriend's high school that saw me one time. Literally one time. And it's truly so disturbing. It made me feel like it was one of those things that I boxed up and just couldn't deal. Because after I went to the police with it, I had moved to Alabama and she lived in Tennessee. So since it was different states, they were just there's really not much we can do unless she's physically showing up places or unless she's but I felt so unsafe for so many years. And it's another thing that I'm just I didn't have time to deal with.
Literally just move
so
on.
I blocked it away. And then it's what do you do? On the way home, I was that whole story came back to me. And it's that is 18's when it started. I remember 18's when I started getting my accounts really, really and started finding out that other people, but it went on for y'all. It went on for over 10 years. And it was truly, one of the most disturbing. I just felt I was always double checking stuff, but I guess it all also really over the years I never posted anything that I didn't want anybody else to have so anyway, I that's some Jennica lore to drop on you, but I did have a stalker and I do know her name, and if you've some way found your way to this, I'm actively trying to block you on every account. I'll every now and then when TikTok became a thing, I was going through one day and I saw her name and I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. So
you're blocked.
Yeah, you're blocked. Isn't that crazy though?
That is crazy.
For a guy, like, I don't think, and like her sitting at her home, like doing this, never probably imagined that she genuinely was putting my life in danger. Like, that man could have, or what if he would have seen me and like followed me home that night? You know what I mean? Like, what, that could have gone so much worse. I think that a lot of times when people say like, do you not get scared of telling where Annica works? It brings me back to this, because I'm like, even if you don't have social media, I didn't have social, like, I had maybe
happens no matter
MySpace in high school. Like, I didn't have even Facebook then. And so it just, it happens, it's always, it's not your fault, too. Because a lot of times it did, like, the cops made me feel like it was my fault for sharing it. It's like, it really is not my fault. I'm not to blame in this. Yeah. I take that so serious. Like, I would immediately pursue, like, there's no wiggle room there for me of safety and, like, being in my house. There's just, especially when it comes to my daughter, I think that's a lot of the reasons that back then I went straight to the police, because I was like, this can't escalate to physical.
There was one time that I got Uber Eats delivered at work, and it was a guy delivery, and my boss just happened to be on the cameras at the same time, and she immediately was like, who is this guy? And I was like, it's just my Uber Eats. So yeah, everyone's very protected there.
Yeah.
We're always good.
Anyway, I think that oh my gosh, one of the things that made me think about this was we were watching on the plane ride home. I was watching TikToks, and one of the TikToks I watched was that Neve guy that does catfish. Mm-hmm. He was at a comedy show, and that guy looks the exact same. He has not aged a day. Mm-mm. He has not aged one single day. Neve. I hate saying people's name wrong, because I'm Jennica, everything. So I want to say his name. Neve? Let me look it up.
You know what we could talk about?
What?
You going to Miss Kathy's?
We sure could. Hold on. Let me make sure. I want to put some respect on his name, because he is Neve. Neve.
It's a very exciting day.
Bing bop, boom 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 bop.
I
Bam.
had a bad bike accident.
Neve/Neve, I do love you. And I appreciate your work, because as somebody, I couldn't watch Catfish for a while because it was so like triggering, but now I do find comfort in it, and I do love Catfish.
So you had to get a dress altered.
I did have, yeah.
And there's one other place we're gonna go for that, and that is Miss Kathy at Elegant Alterations. And I go there twice a week, you think?
Mm-hmm. Oh, Annica's there. Annica sees Miss Kathy just as much as she sees me.
So here's the thing, with working at a dress store, it's very odd, because, like, I can hear when a zipper is bad. Like, if I'm zipping something and I can hear
that is odd.
when I just know, okay, right? So there's a few zippers that we'll get in every now and then that are just bad. They're either, like, there's ruching next to it, so the teeth have popped out or something, and then it just leads to some bad things. So we, every now and then, have to get some things repaired. So I drop the things off to get repaired. They fix them. I go pick them up. We drop them off. We pick them up. We drop them off. We pick them up, right? So I had a couple of things to drop off. Mom had a dress to get altered for Megan's wedding. And I said, let's just go on in there. And she had never been in there. Out of all the times I've ever been to Miss Kathy's,
I was excited.
I've
been outside.
But you've never been in.
I've never been in.
And she is such a character. We've talked about her before. We love her so much. I just remembered something we had to talk about.
What? Oh, I know. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So she's such a character. I'm like, we gotta get through this story now, because I need to get to the next story. And we get in there, and she's just behind me. Miss Kathy doesn't even say anything. And I'm like, oh, this is my mom. And she goes, no. I said, yes.
She said, you're not Mom.
And I said, yes. She's like, no. And I said, yes. She's too young. I said, yeah, still. Mm-hmm. And
she immediately starts telling me how awesome Annica is.
Oh, yeah. She's just like, she's the best. And I'm just sitting there. Just
I'm like, finally somebody that wants to talk about the same things in life that I want to talk about.
Literally. So she was just, talking up a storm. And
she genuinely was. And immediately, like, I went and I didn't bring any heels, obviously. So she had some heels for me to try on with the dress. And she told me 106 times not to move. And what did I still do? Move. So by the end of it, she was yelling at me. Like,
I was like, Mom, stop moving. Like, she's like, stop.
Oh, wait, this doesn't have a lid on it. It's put my hand down and I was like, why is it so sticky?
Oh my god.
I wonder where it went. Oh, I bet podcast listeners, I bet the people that are watching saw me put that down and thought, dang.
We'll
Well,
never see it again.
we'll never see it again. It
Anyway.
smells nice, though. This is the Summer Fridays birthday cake?
No,
pink sugar?
Pink sugar.
Mmm.
So I witnessed something kind of crazy. And this is what we've had sauna talk before. This is what we're gonna call Sauna Gate. Okay?
This is, when I tell y'all, this is crazy.
Living here, where we have for a long time, we've gotten to know people.
Yeah.
And we've watched people come, we've watched people go, we've watched people stay. So we kind of know the community. We're not the most involved of the community.
Yeah, we're not. We do get left out, but we got our people.
But we got our people. So, I'm in the sauna, right? And it's just me.
We've talked about this one guy before. We have.
We've talked about this one guy before. So, I'm in the sauna, and it's me, a girl, and a guy. Okay? So, we're going to call guy A and girl A.
No, let's not give them names.
Okay. Luke.
Crazy guy needs to be like Brad or Chad or something.
Okay. No, he's just going to be Looney. Like, he's just Looney. So, Luke.
Uh-huh.
And girl's name is going to be Lucy.
Lucy. Yeah.
Okay? So it's me, Luke, and Lucy. We're all sitting there. Lucy's reading her book. And me and her and I'm reading my book. And Luke is just sitting there. This guy we're going to call Looney because he is absolutely nuts.
Looney.
Comes in, screaming on the phone before he even gets in the sauna. He's screaming on his phone, talking to someone. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to get a moment of peace once he comes in here. Cause
Like,
he
that
loves
is one
to
of
chat,
the one
chat,
places.
chat.
People are in a sauna.
Like we actively have books in our hands.
It's like when you go into a spa and you're even saying, like, you say, ha, too loud. You're like, oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, literally.
You know?
He has none of that. So, we're sitting there, and I know once he comes in that I'm not going to get one more page of my book read. Even if he's not directly talking to me, he's going to make it everyone's problem. So, we're sitting there, and he comes in, and he starts talking to Luke. Luke is not talking back. He's not interested. He has AirPods in. I don't even know if he can hear a word he's saying. But Looney starts talking insanity. So me and other girl, she was about to leave. Her timer was almost up, and she was asking me what I was reading. And I was telling her what I was reading and this, that, and the third. So we were chatting just a little bit, but not to where they could hear us at all. So then she was like, oh, yeah, I saw that on my Explore page, and we just started talking. So then Luke was like, oh, yeah, if I ever want to, like, reset my Explore page, I just, like, look at 2 posts of cats, and then it's all, like, reset and everything like that. And I'm like, oh, ha, ha, funny.
All normal sauna-like banter.
And then Looney was like, yeah, that got me in trouble one time. You look at one girl's bikini picture, they're all going to be on your page. And we all just kind of look at each other like, what an odd thing to say. We're all looking at each other. It's one of those situations where, like, everyone's looking at each other knowing, like, this is weird.
Mm-hmm.
But the person that's being weird doesn't know. Mm-hmm. So that kind of got him the permission to start talking. So he starts talking to Luke about how he thinks that
it just keeps getting
models and any kind of, like, adult content creators are just, like, absolutely the worst, and this, that, and the third. He's like, yeah, I mean, like, boys pay for it, but, like, the women make it. And I'm like, oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I've lived here for so long, and probably not one person who lives here could tell you my name because I stay out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some people, I've never talked to them, and I know their name. I've always just kept to myself. I'm always reading my book. I'm always working out by myself. I'm always having my headphones on. Like, I keep to myself. I was almost to the point with him where I was like, hey, bro, shut up.
And I also know as a daughter, or as a mom that has raised a daughter in this day and age, like, you want your daughter at 18 to be a little tough and a little scary, but you also have to have enough of ability of an instinct to know when you can. Like, there's just some men you can't be tough and scary to. Like,
No.
there you just have to kind of, and that's that, like, women intuition that you have of, like, knowing when you can kind of buck up and when you just don't need to.
So I was just about 2 seconds away from be like, hey, you don't like him so much? Stop talking about him. Shut up. Shut up. then I don't even know if I can say what he was talking about.
I'll spell it, because I don't even want to hear you spell it.
No, well, he was talking to this other man about their chakras and how, once again, men are better than women because they have 8 chakras and women only have 7 chakras. Whoa, it's really, really crazy stuff.
And one of us here has a functioning brain.
And then he was talking about the way to keep your chakras the most clear as a male, and that is to keep every fluid in your body. If you're catching what I'm putting down. And he was going on and 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 on about this. And he was using very explicit words, very uncomfortable words, very just...
S-E... How do you even spell it?
I don't even know, because I've never typed it out, I've never spelt it out, it's not been a thing that I ever even
I don't even think romance books use that word. Like
it's a crazy word to say.
And it's not S-P-E-R-M, but it's another word for that also starts with...
And he was just talking about this. And we're all looking at each other like, no one's talking back to him. He's talking to himself. So then the girl,
oh my gosh,
Lucy,
I would have been in there. I genuinely, like, it would have, there might have been cops called, because I would have gotten up and been like, my daughter is literally 18, you fucking freak.
I had headphones on and I could still hear him. Lucy's timer goes off, so she leaves. But we're going to call this guy Head Macho. Head Macho had been in the hot tub for a little bit, and he was just sitting there. He has lived here for the same amount of time as we have. He's lived here the entire time this building has been here. First person in his apartment unit.
We love him.
He's jump-started my car before.
Yep.
Like, I talk to his wife all the time.
Love Head Macho.
Love Head Macho. Head Macho was sitting in the hot tub. Well, I'm so sorry to do this to everyone. I have to go pee. I have to go pee. I'm so sorry.
We don't have ads yet.
I've been trying to hold it. Like, I can't concentrate on anything besides the fact I have to pee. I have to go back.
Go pee. I'm gonna have a water break.
Oh my god.
Okay. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. This will be the time that I talk to you guys about life. Just kidding. We'll be right back. Yes, it's Neve from Catfish.
Amazing.
Neve. Everything come out okay?
I had so much fun in there. Okay.
I think the mic's a little, but I think, okay.
So, Head Macho is sitting in the sauna. Now it's Luke, Looney, and me. Anytime it's just a male-dominated, I automatically am like, okay, I should probably wrap this up. Like, it's just not comfortable for me. So, then a boyfriend and a girlfriend come in together, and they put their stuff down, and they start coming to the sauna. And then also, Head Macho starts coming to the sauna. So we're going to call boyfriend Carl. Very important. And we're going to call girlfriend... What?
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Oh, somewhere else.
So it's
Carl and Lindsay.
So it's Carl and Lindsay and Head Macho now. Head Macho had been in the hot tub. Carl and Lindsay came in. They're all coming to the sauna now. So
the only person that has left is the girl that was in there with you? Okay.
So, this is the seating chart. Very important, okay? Luke on the bottom level.
Bottom level to the right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then right above him to the right is Carl. Then Looney.
Coming around the side?
No. No, they don't know what it looks like, so it doesn't make it.
It's a U.
It's an L. It's like an L, kind of. So bottom of the... Oh, my God.
No, it's 2 levels of a U. What are you talking about? Like that.
Okay. So bottom level of the U on the right is Luke. Top level right, Carl. Top middle, Looney. Top middle, me.
Annica Jane.
Top left, Head Macho. Bottom left, Lindsay. I'll draw a seating chart.
That's a wonderful seating explanation.
Okay, so keep that in mind. It's very important to this equation. Everyone comes in here. Now it's kind of packed, you know. It's a lot of people for a sauna, even for the big one. Like,
as Love Island would say,
hella bodies in this bitch.
A lot of bodies in this bitch.
Looney keeps on with his nonsense, with his talking, with his chit chatting.
He's probably excited that he's got even more of an audience.
Yes, he like feeds off of that. So now I have headphones on. No one else has headphones on. So we're chilling. And I could see Head Macho starting to get a little uncomfortable, like just kind of starts moving a lot. And here Mr. Guy still talking about keeping his chakras clear and how he's kept his chakras clear for 500 days.
We can tell.
There's a reason for that. So, eventually, Head Macho's like, bro, I don't understand what you're saying. I respect that this is what you believe in, but you're making it everyone else's problem. So please just stop talking. So he turned, because he's still talking to Luke at this point. So he turns to him.
Everybody sit down. Everybody sit down.
Oh my God. I need to remember the exact words it was, because I need to get the order right. It was something along the lines of like, I wasn't even talking to you, Mr. Overweight.
You said fatty.
It was either fatty or overweight. I can't remember which one it was.
Immediately.
That's the first thing he says to him. And I go, oh.
And the thing is, Head Macho ain't fat. He ain't over.
Fit.
He looks like
He's
a dad.
fit
Like
for,
he looks,
and he doesn't even have a dad bod.
No.
It's just like
like
you
he
can
just
tell he works
genuinely
out.
Looks like what I would want my dad. Like he looks like my dad.
Yeah, like it's fine. Like he's not fat.
No.
And he goes,
And wait, Looney, 90 pounds soaking wet.
and he's maybe 27. 20. So then Carl over here goes, hey, bro, your vibe is terrible. The vibe in here is normally great. You're bringing it so far down. And he was like, bro, I'm not even talking to you. And then Head Macho goes, yeah, what Fat Carl Jr. said, turns out that Carl was Head Macho's son, and Lindsay is Head Macho's daughter-in-law.
So you're sitting in there talking like that.
To a family.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing, is that if I would have been in there, I would have said something, because you're in there with my... Like, if it was me alone, maybe I'd have been like, you're a freak, and I'd have left. But if my daughter would have been there, I'd have stood 10 toes down. Like, that.
Yeah.
That's exactly...
So then they start getting riled up. They're getting riled up. They're throwing some jabs. They're throwing, like, just terrible things. I mean, he's like, once again, Head Macho's like, I'm not understanding what you're saying, dude, but just please stop. Just shut up. Shut up. And he's like, it's not that hard to understand. It's ABC. And Head Macho's like, yeah, I never did good in school. Like, I'm still not quite getting it. And then Looney's like, yeah, I can tell you didn't do good in school. Bro, what? And he was like, Carl here in the corner. Carl in the corner is like, you're throwing the vibe off. He's just trying to be chill about it. He's like, you're throwing the vibe off. And
Head Macho probably knows that his dad
he's about to get, yeah. So then Head Macho goes, you know what your vibe is? Your vibe is getting beat the fuck up. And I'm like, oh, shit. And Lenny's like, then do it then.
Of course, he's been waiting for something. Like
he's like, then do it then. And he's like, I'm going to go tell the front office you said you were going to beat me up.
Annica said when Looney said, I'm going to go tell the front office.
Like, I chuckled. I'm trying to stay medium in this, but I chuckled. So, I'm just sipping my water and, like, keeping my mouth on my straw so that I don't laugh or that I don't, like, I'm trying to stay out of it. But keep in mind the seating chart. Macho, Annica, Looney. Carl. So then they're just yelling at each other. They're yelling, I mean, screaming at each other. Head Macho stands up so he can kind of cool off, because I will say the corner is the hottest spot in the sauna, and he's already getting riled up. So he's standing up by his daughter-in-law. And so then Looney is blabbing his mouth, keeps going, and he does not stop. I've, at this point, gotten out 3 times because I'm dying, but I can't leave. I'm dying.
This is one of those times that I genuinely have to call her and be like, what are you doing down there?
Yeah.
She'll stay for the tea.
I have to. Well, now I'm committed. So, Head Macho standing up. And then he keeps rattling on. Then Head Macho goes directly in front of him, because he's sitting down on the top level still. Head Macho's looking directly at him. And he goes, bro, shut the F up.
I mean, in that situation.
And so then Looney stands up and tries to get, like, all buff and chest to chest with...
That is not what you should do.
I mean, Looney's eyes have to be directly with Head Macho's nipples. Like, I'm just being honest. Like, directly. Then Carl stands up.
And the thing is, there's nothing Looney could do
to make him
to look tough or intimidating, especially to, not even to a grown-ass man that's trying to put him in his place.
Yeah.
There's no
He's
way.
like, I might not beat your ass, but Fat Carl Jr. here might beat your ass, because he's calling him that because of Mr. Man calling him fat. And so they're just all three in a little huddle together and toughing it out. And I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. Then they all kind of migrate out of the sauna into the area of the hot tub.
And except they're just making laps.
Chasing each other because Looney's running away. Macho's chasing him, and then Carl is making sure that they don't fight. So they're all just going around this hot tub, around and around. Eventually, Head Macho slams the door to outside the little cooling down area just to kind of chill out. He goes out there. As soon as Head Macho turns his eyes, Looney shoves Carl, which is his son.
Mm-hmm.
That's so good. So then the girlfriend comes out, and Head Macho comes back, and they're toughing it out. Looney starts gathering his stuff, and they're just kind of barricading and pushing him out the door. They are slowly, he has no choice but to get out. At this point, we're all out of the sauna, because when they were chasing each other, they were screaming. I mean, the people above, the people in the gym, the people in the common area, everyone had to have been hearing. They were screaming at each other. And so he walks outside. I'm like, okay, the drama's done. I'm purple in the face. I have to go. I have to go now. And also, I'm running to tell her. Because she knew that Looney was there. Because I said, I'll be back before any of this has happened.
Mm-hmm. So I knew I was about to get a story when she came back anyway.
So I get my shoes on, whatever. And I go to leave the, spa area. And I can see that Looney's just pacing back and forth from in front of the door. And I'm like, So I stand and I kind of just on my phone. And then the Carl peeks out and he's like, you good?
As we've said before, you can see the reflection of people in the hall that have come in or come out. So you could see that Annica was the son that hanging out, not going outside yet.
And I was like, yeah, he's just pacing back and forth, so I'm just gonna wait till he leaves. And he was like, fucking nuts. And I was like, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. So then I'm standing out there and I'm waiting for him to go. He finally goes. So I'm walking to come tell Mom. He is cooling down on the phone. He's something. And there's no way for me to get from the sauna to my house. I'm like, oh my God. No. Because the last thing I need...
He's not one of those people that would just let you be able to walk by and not say anything. Whether it was going to be good or bad, he's going to say something.
And obviously I'm on Head Macho's side. And I don't want Head Macho to look over and see me talking to this guy. No. So, hi, my boy. Weasel's back. So, I'm like, okay, I just got to commit. My headphones are on again, but we got to keep that in mind. That doesn't matter to him. And I go past, and he's like, bro, I didn't even say anything that crazy. That was the craziest thing that ever happened to me. I know what I need to do in this situation. I need to stay quiet. I need to not say a word. I need to not engage. I just need to walk past. I wanted to say, if that's the craziest thing that's ever happened in your life, obviously not that many things have happened to you. Because that's okay, you got yelled at.
You brought it on yourself. You were talking crazy. You were talking crazy.
He was like, did I say anything wrong? And I was just like, don't engage. And I just walked past. But then there was this other guy that's a very common, that's a very character around here. And he was telling him what happened and obviously telling his side of the story, not the accurate story. And so it just definitely started some drama.
I would have loved to hear how he explained that went down.
He said that he got attacked. I'm like, bro.
He can kick rocks. That's actually not even the story that I thought you were going to tell, though. I thought you were going to tell about the monkey being brought into glamour.
See, this is why. This is the life I've lived since the last time we podcasted. All these tornadoes the story I'm about to tell you, so many customers yelling at me. This is not fun prom season anymore.
She sent me a picture of the bubble backpack that we have.
I said, oh, is there a cat in here? And then the other girl was like, no, I think it's a monkey. And I was like, a monkey? Come again? So then I get a harder look, and I'm like, no, that's a rat. That's what that is. That is a rat. And So we get into the fitting rooms, and I'm like,
Lo
I
and
have to
behold.
go. They put the backpack out of the fitting room, and they went in the fitting room. And so I was like, okay, now's my chance. I have to go. Keep in mind, the store owner and my boss is at market. So I'm the only one there, and I'm the one making the executive decisions.
And if they knew
of
a
the
monkey was
store.
up in that
I said,
If they knew-
there's no way on my
You
watch
let
right
the
now.
monkey-
There's a monkey in here. There's no way. There's no way. I look. It's a monkey. A monkey was in glamour formals in Cool Springs in a backpack eating popcorn. I said, my boss said, I can't believe we had to put a no monkeys allowed sign up. Like, who would have thought?
Oh,
Oh my god, a monkey.
Well-
A monkey.
you know, we're gonna take this weekend to recharge, refresh. When does prom season technically come to an end? The end of April? Like, I feel like there are probably still proms the very end of April.
There's proms till mid-May.
What?
Yeah.
That's when graduations. I guess people do.
Yeah,
'em,
people have back-to-back
like,
weekends,
yeah.
prom, grad.
Wait, I think actually we did that.
Yeah.
Well, okay, well, I'll see you in June.
Yeah. Exciting news, though. We go to Florida
We do.
next week,
Megan's wedding.
and that's really exciting. And then the week after that, I get to go to a market for our
first market of the year.
glamour boutique. So that should be really fun. It's just in Nashville. It's local. It shouldn't take us too long. It's my first one of this kind, not formal wear, but more
Yeah.
ready to wear. So I'm really excited about that.
That'll be fun. That'll be fun.
Please follow Glamour Formals. Please. I'm in a race with myself so I can get a prize for myself. And that's on
What
being
followers do you
competitive.
want?
I can't say what my goal is publicly.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of Spill More Girls.
We had a lot to spill
Yeah,
today.
we had a lot to catch up on.
yeah.
We didn't have the energy spilling it, but we are going to recharge this weekend.
We have to. We have no
We
choice.
have no
we have
choice.
no battery left. Like,
We'll compliment someone.
and we'll spill more next Thursday.
Bye.
Love ya.
Always by your side. I'll be